Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy SurgicalSnipes, and I am back at it again with another Diablo Immortal video. Alright, today we're going to be talking about the best Demon Hunter builds. We're talking about the best builds for PvP and for open world farming, for PvE. So we're going to be doing that today. We're going to see what the best builds are that deal the most damage, the most DPS, and other options as well. If you don't have the correct legendary items or set items to complete the OP builds. So let's get right into it. Alright, so this is the Demon Hunter class. It's a ranged class. You know, you shoot your arrows, and very ranged class. It has, I believe, it deals the most damage in the game. I was able to hit number 1 in battlegrounds 2 times, 2 seasons already, back to back in legend rank. So I believe these builds definitely work. But yeah, let's get right into it. First, let's start with the skills first. So the skills are going to be alright, so for your first skill, you're going to be focusing on your primary attacks. Right? Now, what are our 2 primary attacks? We got crossbow shot, and then we got explosive arrow. Crossbow shot, it says here, shoot an arrow to deal damage while moving at reduced speed. Crossbow shot is pretty much universally recognized as the best primary attack for demon hunters, you know. So you pretty much want to go with crossbow shot. And by equipping the right legendary on it, you can also pierce through enemies and strike additional enemies behind. This is from the offhand. Its ultimate is called volley. It enhances the crossbow shot for 12 seconds, increasing its damage per hit, launching volleys of arrows, and increasing your movement speed. Now this is definitely the best build, the best primary attack for demon hunters, hands down. Explosive arrow is good too, but you can't run and shoot at the same time. So it's that simple, you know. Of course, explosive arrow does a lot of damage also as well. You know, shooting an arrow that explodes on impact for damage to the target and all nearby enemies. So it has its AoE effect also. But you can't run and shoot at the same time with it, which reduces your mobility. So crossbow shot is definitely the primary skill that you guys want to go with for your primary attack. Alright, our next one here is going to be daring swing. It says use a rope to swing to a nearby location, dealing damage to enemies on the way while they cannot attack you. Maximum 2 charges. Now if you put another legendary, a specific legendary gear on it, you could get an extra swing, an extra charge. So daring swing is pretty much your escape or your all-in attack button. So pretty much it's good for offense and for defense. It's pretty much your escape or your all-in attack skill that you want to be utilizing, especially in PvP. Alright, so that's daring swing. Next skill is going to be multi-shot. This is probably my favorite skill out of all the skills in Demon Hunter. Multi-shot, it says fire a salvo of arrows, dealing damage to all enemies in a direction, maximum 3 charges. Alright, and with the right legendary, you can put you can do a couple different things with this. You can make your multi-shot arrows fire arrows that deal a lot of damage and have a burning effect on enemies, or you can turn them into frost arrows like I have here, and it says multi-shot now fires frost arrows that deal damage and 40% chill for 3 seconds. So it definitely has that CC effect to chill enemies, slowing them down. Definitely important skill to learn, and it's a must-have for all demon hunters. You gotta run multi-shot. All right. Next one's gonna be here. Smoke screen. Smoke screen's a buff. Create a cloud of thick smoke at your location, concealing you and nearby allied players for 2.5 seconds. Concealed targets may not be attacked. Each ally will lose concealment when they attack. So this is a great buff. You know, it makes you invisible, and it makes all your teammates that are in that area invisible as well. So great buff, and it's with the right legendary, you can your crit hit chance is increased by 50% for 1 second after your smokescreen concealment ends. So very important for this build. And last but definitely not least, pretty much the main. This is also considered one of the 2 staples must-haves for demon hunters skills. This is Vengeance, right? It's a buff. It says transform into the physical embodiment of Vengeance for 6 seconds, causing every primary attack to launch 2 additional shots for 1.3k damage each, pretty much. And the passive is gain 3% increased movement speed for each nearby enemy, stacking up to 10 times. So that's Vengeance. As a matter of fact, I think it's better if I show you the skills. It's better if I show you the skills first. That way you guys know what the hell I'm talking about with each skill. So let's start all over again. Alright, so crossbow shot. Alright. This is your crossbow shot. This is your primary attack that you need to use. This is the attack that you're going to be using mostly when all of your skills are on cooldown. Alright, so this is the crossbow shot. The best passive for demon hunters. Okay, next one. We're going to do, let's start with from bottom to top here. So this is Vengeance. Right, Vengeance is it turns your character, your demon hunter, all red and glowing. And once it's off cooldown here, I'll show you what it does. Alright, so this is what happens when you're on Vengeance. As soon as you're on Vengeance, as soon as you activate Vengeance, you can start shooting. As you can tell and notice, that's way different than the primary attack, crossbow shot. See, this is crossbow shot. This is Vengeance. It pretty much increases the damage of your primary attacks, and it also increases the speed. Like, this is way faster than the primary attack. See, primary attack, Vengeance. So a way amazing buff, increase in damage and attack speed. So that's very important for a demon hunter to learn how to master. And it's pretty easy, you know. You just pretty much hit Vengeance and you hold down crossbow shot. Alright, so that's Vengeance. The next skill we're going to learn is Smokescreen. This is Smokescreen right here. The Demon Hunter turns invisible for a few seconds. And if I had party members with me, teammates, if they were in this circle right here, they will receive the buff as well. Alright, so that's Smokescreen. Pretty self-explanatory. You pretty much turn invisible. Actually, I want to make sure I told you guys the right thing when it comes to the buff for the teammates. Let me see here. Let's see. Smokescreen. Yeah, and nearby allied players. So, yeah, I was right on that. So, definitely very important buff to help out your teammates. That way the enemy can't see you. Alright, so now we learned Smokescreen. Let's learn multi-shot. Now, this is multi-shot right here. This is multi-shot using the frost arrows. As you can tell, the arrows turn blue. When you equip other legendary gear pieces that modify multi-shot, the arrows can turn orange, red. That's multi-shot, pretty self-explanatory. You know, anything in this covered area, in this blue zone here, it's gonna get hit. And it's definitely one of the two pretty much used skills in any Demon Hunter build for the most part. This one and Vengeance. Good old multi-shot. Okay, next one we're going to be learning is Daring Swing. This is Daring Swing. Pretty much move this arrow around and you aim it to where you want to go. So pretty much when you let go of the button, you will land at the very top of the arrow, as so. Good for offense, great for defense. Actually, great for offense, great for defense. And right now I'm using a legendary that makes the Daring Swing create an icy path that if the enemy's chasing, which is great for when the enemy's chasing you, if they're touching that ice, they're gonna have a chance to get chilled, which slows them down, and they take damage also as well. And that's Daring Swing. So that's gonna be the skills for Demon Hunter in my PvP build. And now we're gonna focus on the legendaries and the set items to create the build. All right. So on your left hand side here, these are the set items. These items are used to give you set properties. You know, I currently have two sets. I have a 4-piece set and a 2-piece set to complete my 6-piece set build. I'm using Vithu's Urges, and I'm using the War Rags of Shalbas. Okay, these two sets are pretty much the strongest, best sets for Demon Hunter. There might be others as well, but 99% of the Demon Hunter community will tell you that currently you have to run 4 Vithu's Urges, and 2 War Rags of Shalbas. So 4 and 2. 4 Vithus, 2 War Rags. Alright, so let's find out about these set items. Okay, well, let's start with Vithu's Urges. Vithu's Urges, when you equip 2, it says increase the duration of all beneficial effects on you or your party members by 30%. So it increases the duration of your smoke screen by 30% when you equip 2 Vithu's Urges. So that helps out a lot. You know, increased time. Increased time is always great. So that's what you get with 2 of them, right? But the best part of it is when you equip 4 Vithu's Urges. When you equip 4 Vithu's Urges, it says here, increases the target's attack speed by 30% for 3 seconds each time you use a skill to grant a beneficial effect to yourself or a party member. So what is that for Demon Hunters? Alright, so that is going to be our smoke screen. That helps us and our party members by concealing us. And that includes our actually I activated Vengeance, what the hell? Smoke screen, right? That is a beneficial effect for myself and my party members. So Vithu's Urges applies to that. Okay. Vengeance applies to myself. It's a beneficial effect for myself. So those are the 2 skills, Smoke Screen and Vengeance, that Vithu's Urges enhances. So you gotta run 4 Vithu's Urges in order to get those 2 set properties. You don't want to go for 6 Vithu's Urges because you need to get the 2 set pieces that will increase your damage, your primary attack damage. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the War Rags of Shalbass. Okay, the War Rags of Shalbass, the set properties here say if you equip 2 of them, your primary attack damage increases by 15%. Alright, now, Season 1, when we can only get 4 out of 6 set items equipped to our gear, because the rings weren't available until Hell 4, like I'm in right now. At that time, pretty much every Demon Hunter was running 4 War Rags of Shalbass, right? But once we were able to hit Hell 4, we completely switched it, and we, instead of 4 War Rags, we just cut it down to 2, because we do need that primary attack damage. You know, primary attack damage increased by 15% is a great boost to your damage dealing. Okay, but that's what it is. So you want to run 4 Vithu's Urges and 2 War Rags of Shalbass to complete your set items build and be as strong as possible for a Demon Hunter. Okay, now that we did the set items, now that we learned about the green set items, now let's learn about the legendary items. But before that, I have to say this: be patient. I can't stress that enough to new players. Be patient with your dungeon farming for set items. For those who don't know about set items and how to acquire them, you have to actually go to dungeons, specific dungeons, for that specific set item, right? Like this is my neck piece called Awakener's Urge, my ring called Braided Serpent of Shalbass, my ring called Shameless Urge, my hands, gloves, my gloves pretty much called Luminary's Urge, my belt, Exemplar's Urge, and my boots, Windtrods of Shalbass. All these items, all these set items are in a specific dungeon, right? If you just search it on YouTube, you'll know where the specific set items are located in the specific dungeons, and I can't stress this enough to new players, be patient, okay? You'll get it eventually, you know. Some players get lucky and they get their set item on the first try. Don't expect that, okay? 99% of players, it's not going to happen. Alright, for the other, I mean, yeah, only 1% of players are allowed, are so lucky to get that, okay? For the rest of us, we're going to have to be grinding dungeons all day, right? You could run 100 dungeons and still not get the set item that you need. And there's 6 set items that you got to get. 4 when you're a new player, and 6 when you hit Hell 4. Actually, I think it's 2 when you're a new player because you still got to go through Hell 1. I think, yeah, some of the set, yeah, that's right. Some of the set items are in Hell 2. So 2 when you're a new player, and then as you advance your character, then it'll be 4. Then it'll be 6 set items that you're able to unlock in your gear. Okay, but yeah, that's an explanation on set items. Long story short, Demon Hunters, 4 Vidthus Urges, 2 War Rags of Shalbas. Alright, so now let's move on to the legendary items. Our legendary gear. Right, there are 6 pieces of gear, of legendary gear, that we equip to our characters. Right, we have our pretty much our helm, our chest plate, our shoulder pads, pretty much, our leggings, our pants. Then we have our main hand, our main weapon, pretty much, and our offhand weapon. Let's start with from the top to the bottom. I'm running a scatter mask for my helmet. For my helm, scatter mask. What does scatter mask do? Scatter mask. It says activating vengeance now immediately deals 1,029 damage to all nearby enemies and causes them to flee in fear for 3 seconds. So as soon as you hit vengeance, if the enemy's in that proximity, and if it does work, because almost every PvP player is going to be rocking Gladiator as their Paragon tree, right? So it may not work because they have some defense against it. But if it does work, then it will cause them to flee in fear for 3 seconds. But I think that's lowered to only 1 second in PvP, because PvP and battlegrounds they lower the effectiveness, I think, of the legendary gems and the gear. I'm not sure, but it's either 1 second in PvP or 3 seconds, like it says here in legendary. You know, but you'll know because if it works, because the enemy will not attack you for 1 second or 3 seconds. I think it's 1 second, because I don't think it's 3 seconds, because 3 seconds in PvP, I don't think I've seen an enemy not attack me for 3 seconds, but for 1 second for sure when using scatter mask. So definitely a great CC option, which works well, because if you can at least not let them attack you for 1 second, then that gives you all that gives you time to start attacking them before, that gives you time to start attacking them and deal all that damage with them not attacking you first. So you get a big jump start in dealing damage versus the enemy. Alright, so that's scatter mask. Now let's go to our chest plate. This is called the Heart of Vengeance. The Heart of Vengeance is pretty much known as the best chest plate armor piece. Excuse me. Heart of Vengeance. It's pretty much known as the best chest plate armor piece, legendary gear for Demon Hunters. Right, you can use other legendary gear pieces as well, but Heart of Vengeance is pretty much your go-to chest plate, all around chest plate, legendary for your chest piece, right? So what does Vengeance do? It says here, Vengeance cooldown decreased by 15%. Right, and then the text on the green there, it says Vengeance cooldown decreased by 10%. That only applies when you awaken your gear. But I'll talk about awakening gear in a different video. So that's the chestplate. Pretty much self-explanatory. Your Vengeance gets decreased from 20 seconds to 15 seconds, I believe. And very important to have. Very, very useful, as that decreases the cooldown time for you to activate your Vengeance. Because when you activate Vengeance, that's when you're dealing your most damage. So very, very important to be able to get that cooldown reduced. All right. Next legendary gear piece is going to be Chill Wrath Mantle. Chill Wrath Mantle. It unlocks the Icy Path ability, which is Daring Swing now fires ice arrows at the ground, forming an icy path that continually damages and chills. Hold up. I think I gotta... turn down the music a bit, you know, that shit was way too loud, man. I got my headset on full blast here, and hopefully the music doesn't cut out my voice. I don't want to do this whole shit all over again. That's gonna be all bad. Alright, so back to where our gear. Where was I at? Oh yeah, Chill Wrath Mantle. This pretty much makes your Daring Swing turn into ice. Into the icy path, right? It makes an icy path. That's what it looks like there. Any enemy that chases you and they touch that icy path, they have a chance to get chilled, which is slowed, and they're getting damage as long as they're in that icy path. So this is what Chill Wrath Mantle does for your Daring Swing. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Alright, for our pants, this is called a Jane's Silent Retribution. It says here, your critical hit chance is increased by 50% for 1 second after smokescreen's concealment ends. So pretty much, as soon as you start attacking in your smokescreen, or as soon as your smokescreen ends, as soon as your concealment ends in the smokescreen, you have a 50% chance for 1 second to increase your critical hit chance, your crits. So very important to have, you know, because as soon as you're letting go of that smokescreen, as soon as you're out of it, you're attacking with vengeance, and you have a great chance of a 50% chance of increasing your crit hits, which is crazy for your damage, you know. Alright, so that's that for that one. Now let's talk about our weapons, right? This is our main hand weapon. I'm running the Breath of Winter. What does the Breath of Winter do? The Breath of Winter, it turns your multi-shot into Frost Arrow, right? It shoots fire. It fires frost arrows that damage and chill enemies, right? So, as you can see, my multi-shot is now blue. Those are ice arrows going through the enemy, you know, giving them a chance to get slowed by chilling them, and you'll know by the animation because they'll turn blue, like they've been frozen for a couple seconds. So it slows them down, and that's what Breath of Winter is used for. Okay, so that's the Frost Arrow, the multi-shot Breath of Winter. It's a great CC.